Pen, the silent protector of my family, guardian of the basement, stopping all that is evil of the demonic subterranean creatures that wish to burrow through the basement to my house and take all my toys and my pet dog. Thank you for protecting me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this penguin's going to stop anything that's evil. I'm very confident. Yeah. Let's get the last of this stuff done. We're going to be moving on towards higher power, wonderful items shortly. But we have Thruster. And here we have the evil headquarters for GoBots named Thruster. And this had nothing to do with the Japanese Machine Robo series. All of the GoBots were designed by Bandai in Japan for the Machine Robo line. Tonka got the license, created the GoBot concept, put them all under that umbrella, including a few other characters like the Psycho from Super GoBots, which originally was from Cobra. As a child, that was one of my favorite Super GoBots because it was so strange, and I couldn't figure out who those two characters driving the car. Because if you look at all the other GoBots, no characters are driving them. They're all empty seats except for Psycho. Because as I was saying, he is not originally from Machine Robo, but he was produced by Bandai. Wow. So coming back to that whole weird rant, Tonka developed the GoBot Command Center and the Renegade GoBot headquarters here. They are just absolutely lackluster. This is what happens when you take toys from Japan that have been developed for decades and then try to copy them to an extent from the West, which has no knowledge of how to create robots that looked so badass like Transformers and GoBots did. And they come up with this just terrible little spaceship that turns poorly into a playset. It's not revered. A lot of collectors do have some nostalgia for the original GoBot Command Center because of the cartoon, but in general, still a terrible playset. And then Thruster comes out and just nobody even cares. That is why on the secondhand market, Thruster and the Command Center just do not go for much money. They're just not beloved compared to the actual toy figures. The artwork here is also a bit lackluster. GoBots, I think it's the same artist they hired for all the GoBot package artwork, which was pretty decent. This just doesn't scream buy me. This just looks like a poor man's version of a mural painting from Transformers. Do you guys remember those Transformer mural paintings in the back of the packages from starting off in 84 all the way to the final series? You could stare at those paintings and just analyze and think and just wonder over those. And they're trying to get that excitement copied to a point here, but it's just, we have Pathfinder, we have Sparky, we have Heat Seeker, we have Wrong Way, we just have 4 GoBots. That's it. And they're just attacking Thruster. There's no playset action. It's just showcasing the ship. When you should have been showcasing the actual base and all the characters running around the base. It's just this one so many years ago, it's ridiculous. Probably paid about $30. And I guess they'd probably run around dead stock, mint, unused, maybe 50 to 100. It's not that much. Oh, wow. I almost didn't want to pull it out of the package now. Yeah, I'm feeling that at this point it's probably not best to pull the whole thing out. But I'll put some photos up for you guys to take a look at just how simple the playset, even compared to the Command Center. It's just they wanted to save on cost, and it's just how these things are. They're like, we have great ideas, and I bet you it looked amazing for the original conceptual prototype, let alone the artwork. And then the employees that work on the cost effectiveness, how much money they can make on it, they start cutting off things. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't have that. You can't. No. And then, of course, it just comes down to this watered down version of the actual playset spaceship. So again, it's just an interesting piece when you look at what Tonka developed in association with the GoBot line that they're picking up from Bandai, and you just go, is that really the best you could do? And technically that kind of is. And it's kind of crazy too. Like, you have all these samples of Bandai toys and you still couldn't even make anything that looked resembling a machine robo slash GoBot. I can't wrap my head around it, guys. So Need P is going to keep it. I have a huge GoBot collection. I have every single figure carded. I have every single figure loose. I have international carded from Australia to Europe to Saudi Arabia. So yeah, big collector of GoBots. Thank God I got into it very early on when nobody was collecting. Oh my God, liter one's $50. That's crazy. And then now he's looking at the price of that. Jeez, that's insane. Galactus! Yes. So this is my childhood Galactus. I opened that puppy up. I can still hear the sound in my head after all these years. Probably a little bit off right now. As I was mentioning, this toy, though, years prior from this toy, just made a terrible alarm sound. Then for Galactus, we got the light up eyes, the light up converter with the sound effects. I mean, yes, that's what we want. Artwork, very dynamic. There's action happening. All the main characters are there. That gets you intrigued. You want to stare at it for a while and analyze it. Not so much on Thruster. Wonderful piece. Again, toy-based. They had passion. They cared. Fantastic Four is not the most financially sound of all the franchises from Marvel. I think that's, of course, because they just don't handle the franchise that correctly. Granted, the first two movies they did produce were very nicely done films. The toy here, I think they repainted it later on, like a reissue in different colors, which was nice. And Galactus, again, more popular than ever. The figure doesn't run too much value, probably about $60, $75. They've made so many Galactuses now, especially the super large HasLab version. I mean, so this one's more of a novelty fun piece to have for collectors that are of that time. That's their childhood. And so, again, I'm happy there's some value to it because that reflects upon the collector's interest in having it. If this item was just $10, then nobody even collects this stuff. I like it. I'm going to keep it, obviously. And he's kicking around somewhere. The box is empty, so I have to get him back in the box and make some more room saved up. But it's just nice that I kept some stuff. And the box is in great shape, too. And again, it's not like a G1 sealed Transformer dead stock seal worth thousands, but I'm still very happy to have, kept my stuff as from a child. But again, I think I probably have a problem collecting too much stuff, so that's why we're getting rid of some of the stuff. So we'll keep that puppy. I'll give you a free burp on the house. Empire Strikes Back, Turret and Probot, which sounds like a band from the 70s, to be honest with you. Turret and Probot now playing at the Madison Square Garden. Get your tickets now. It's so simple. They couldn't make like Imperial Attack Base. No, just Turret and Probot. You got anything else? No, probably was a mistake. They probably just had this as like a running title, and then they just kind of forgot to beef it up later on. Just ran with it. Very fun though. We do want to see a playset, cost effective. You got the Probot, you got the Super Cannon. They do interact pretty well together. It is a nice set. I never got Star Wars as a kid. I think I have faint memories of maybe getting a Cloud Car Pilot in the store. Like the parents got me, but that must have been like clearance sale stock. Been on that shelf for a long time. But I got hand-me-down Star Wars stuff from like garage sales and stuff like this. So I'm surprised this thing was still kicking down here. It's not in here. But more important than that, it's a beat up box. Oh, wow. I thought I had the inserts. No, I just have bubble and more bubble. So I have a set loose complete upstairs, but I'm just kind of surprised like there's nothing in here and it's just bubble, which again help protect the box from flattening itself out and getting more condition wear. Absolutely fun time. Everyone loves the Empire film. You're getting towards the height versus the dip when Jedi was coming out. There's just so much stuff was being produced. So kids were just absolutely bonkers to this stuff still. You can't just let it go. Like, it's just Star Wars is so good. It's rolling on decades later, and all the films hold up. So yeah, it's probably not going to be a keeper. I think the box will be probably worth about $50 by itself, and that's about it. I mean, loose complete set's about $75 with the box, about $100 $150. Of course, once you get like unused with the inserts, then it gets big money. And of course, it was dead stock sealed, completely like mint shape, like no whitening on any of the corners here. Huge money. And holy moly, the Night Raven. This piece was released in 1986 from Hasbro. It is huge. And again, you have to remember, as a kid, this is twice as big to you as an adult. This was a killer toy to have as a child. My brother got this piece, so I got to play with it. I loved it just as much as he did. Lots of fun interaction. It was just at that turning point where G.I. Joe was straying away from modern actual military vehicles and getting a little more crazier, but not super crazy like when they got to like 88 and 89, some of those wacky vehicles. This is plausible. Like you could actually see this being developed, but it was unique and just so cool. I love it. The colors, the design, everything just screams hell yeah. The little pod up here, which is kind of funny because it's a drone, and if you put these up for sale on eBay, it gets flagged as a drone and you can't sell it, so you have to say pod now. Isn't that crazy? The world works like that. But yeah, the Night Raven pilot and the landing gear systems and little panels that you can flip up and look at the engines. Yeah, Hasbro was still cooking pretty hardcore with developing really interactive, detailed toys. And of course, as I mentioned later, as they got cheaper and cheaper with their G.I. Joe vehicles, it just was like you put two pieces together, put the wheels on, add a couple missiles, and you're done. There wasn't much love put into them as the original series is like this. Damn, it's so sweet. I wish I had this box unused, or at least a nice, clean, displayable box. I remember being offered the chromed version from Sky Patrol, unused in the original box, great shape, for $200 in like 2007 or something. I was like, I don't know, I'll pass on that. I'll get that next time. Stupid. But I just, yeah, this is a killer ship, man. I mean, I can let go when it comes to certain like financial troubles may incur in my life. I can let go of a lot of these G.I. Joe vehicles for sure. But I'm not getting rid of the Night Raven. So they run about $150 to $200 now. Isn't that nuts? I mean, there's not too many difficult accessories to find for it, but people just love the vehicle that much. That's why it's worth that much. What is cooking down here? Hiding Star Wars basic figures, Toys R Us import. Well, that's interesting. Use for 5, 1, 10 boys, collectors, end cap. Ooh. So I don't know what's in here, people. It could be anything, to be honest with you. Hard to open with one hand, and it's full of cocaine. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. So, again, episode 1, 2, and 3, they produced tons of those figures as the movies came out because they're being supported by those films. After the films were over, Hasbro was still producing Star Wars toys, but the production numbers were much less. There was no films to support them. There were some TV shows, but they knew like there was no fire underneath kids to be like collecting it because, you know, there's so much promotion for those movies. So these are, I believe, the Legacy Collection. And this is a nice little assortment I put away years ago. Here's a nice Ahsoka Tano with her little Rhoda. Very cool. Remember they made the Rhoda backpack to carry around? That was really cool. I had one of those for a while, and I was like, I don't have any space for it. Battle droids. I love the battle droids so much. What makes these pieces really fun to collect is they're unique characters, hence what we have right here. A firefighter droid. They have unique package artwork. They pop. I like these. I like these a lot. I don't want to like collect Star Wars much, you know, be more specific in what I collect. That's why you purge so much already of the newer stuff. But some of these characters, they're very uncommon. They were never made ever again. Sometimes the Hasbro would see like this character right here, the commando droid, and then just repackage him later on, same toy. Oh, hell yes, Obi-Wan. Very nice. Yeah, so clearly these are not the Legacy. Oh, there we go. Here's the Legacy. The Shock T. This one, if I'm correct, is a much more difficult piece to find. Maybe from the final wave? I don't know. I don't know what I was cooking like back then. I got 2 firefighter droids. Yeah. So that means we can let one of these go. I have no idea what this thing's worth. So far, I can let go of some of these guys. Like, I'm not a fan of the Cad Bane. Not like I don't like him. It's just don't need him, you know? Let him go. Oh, Zuckuss. Oh, these are much more uncommon. So this is the Saga Legends. It's also pretty uncommon to find these things. They're not super rare, but as I said, less production numbers. Do remember a lot of these toys were still just being collected by adults, so a lot of these things are still packaged. We'll probably let him go. Jaina Solo. Nice intense face there. Wonderful artwork. Your eye is actually more drawn to the artwork than it is the actual figure. I mean, I like the artwork more than actually having the toy, but I'll probably let that one go as well. Queen Amidala, very wonderful piece. Again, the artwork is what's carrying these. I'm gonna build a droid too. Very nice. And we have the Saga Collection, Clone Wars. So as I was mentioning earlier, here's Ahsoka. Here's Ahsoka, and then here's the other Ahsoka, and it's just the same toy, just repackaged. Pretty much also the exact same artwork. And very popular character. Don't think they run too much because they still produce quite a number of these. A lot of reissues, as we just saw. So maybe $35-$45 each. Probably just keep one of them. So that's really nice. I didn't know I even had a case like this hiding around. But we also going to wrap this puppy up with the ultimate soldier. I've always dreamed of being the ultimate soldier. And now I can with my P-38. Oh my God. To be completely honest with you, I'm slightly torn on letting these things go. I let go of the Stuka Fighter already, and I let go of my other World War II Allies plane. The name escapes me. I have a P-38. The original price is $50, $30 on sale, open box, all accessories in there. These are just so nicely done. I'm in shock at just some company stood up and said, we're going to make some very beautiful World War II vehicles, highly detailed, beautifully painted. They'll come with small 3 3/4 inch figures that fit inside. That's what we want, 3 3/4 inch. And they're just the best of the best. When you assemble this P-38, it's going to be huge. It's going to be gigantic. And I don't have the space anymore for these things, but I really, really want to just play around with it. I want to have it. I want to display it. It's been with me for too long, but since all the previous moves, it was buried. But now, yeah, I should probably let it go, to be honest with you. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God. We can take a look at it at least. I've never pulled it out of the box. Oh my God. Let's take a look at this thing. Unfortunately, I cannot get it out of the box. There's like tape to the interior, but I mean, look how big this piece is. The wings aren't even attached or underneath here. It's probably going to have about a 40-inch wingspan and probably going to go about 30 inches towards its tail fins. That is just so cool. It's crazy that these were never reissued. They're almost 20 years old. And the company never came back and said, let's redo them in different colors, all the different designs. You can see there all the characters that they produced, all the vehicles they produced. There's the Corsair. That's the other one I had. I remember now. Ultimate Soldier, you guys just did an amazing job. And people do collect these things. I think this was probably worth, I'm going to probably hazard like $250, $300. Some of the vehicles with different decor that's more uncommon to find can hit a couple hundred, $500 at times. Some are produced in great numbers. I think the Corsair runs like $150. That's it, still in the original package. But my gosh, I would love to display all this stuff. But again, who really owns that much space? And that's the problem we're having. So I'm going to have to let this thing go. Even though I love it, it just, again, you can appreciate it. And the other thing I always keep saying in every video, if I do have a moment where I have space, the final frontier, and I can go back anytime I want and I can buy this. It'll always be available online for me to purchase. It may go up a little bit in value. Hell, it may even go down a little bit in value, but that's okay. It's always available if you want it back. So that's why it's okay to let these things go. But it is a sweet piece. Reminds me of all the time I spent watching the military channel and the history channel all those years ago. Dog fights and everything. Super good days. Wonderful days. And here is the last of the 21st century ships that I have. The Stuka fighter. This bomb release in the bottom. Oh, wow. Again, this whole box is probably about 36 inches long. The ship's probably about 35 inches long. You attach the wings. The cockpit slides open. You get the two pilots. The paint decor. Oh, man. Just look at that. And I think there's 3 different ones. I think they even made the tiger shark color, like the orange, the spotting on it from the African Wars. Just, again, like, look at the plane. All that World War II mech is just, amazing. And these are the last 2. And if I'm going to let go of all of it, you let go of all of it. I think it's more intriguing to me that the World War II ones are not produced that often for 3 3/4 inch scale compared to modern jets and vehicles. So that's why I find these a little more exciting, as well as just, I'd probably hazard this piece is probably worth around 200 to 300. And same thing, like if I want these back, I can get them back. But my gosh, it's gonna be sad. I'm kind of tempted to just throw these in a corner, like right over there, and kind of just see how everything else sells. And maybe I don't have to let them go. But if you guys have any interest in collecting 21st century toys, it's a great time. Most of the action figures are not worth that much money. You can probably pick them up loose to 10 to 15, carded about 20, 25, depending on which variants and how rare they are. The trucks, the tanks, they can run about $75 each. I mean, it's just overall for what you're getting, absolutely worth it. And, again, as I talk more about it, I'm just getting more tempted, but nah, I gotta let it go. So I'll probably throw one in the corner and just see how it is. But we're crushing the basement. So this is it. Unless I actually am kind of curious what Pen is guarding. I just realized that as I turned around. What are you up to, Pen? Okay. Oh my God, more toys. Another video for another time.